Welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo Boarding School. This is actually going to be a season finale episode. I decided to break this up into 2 separate seasons, possibly even 3 separate seasons, because my ambitions were a little bit too big for the zoo. Turns out putting in every single habitat in the game, along with every single exhibit and every area, and filling it all out and trying to make it look pretty nice is very difficult to do, time-wise anyway. So basically, I am going to show you guys what I have completed, and then what is going to be on the agenda for Season 2 once I decide to pick that up in the future. I'm not really sure when that's going to be coming out, but if you follow our Twitter page and our Instagram page, I will go ahead and give you guys an update a few weeks in advance of when the Planet Zoo Boarding School Season 2 is actually going to be releasing. So with this zoo, there are areas that are not... That's not good. We have some fighting. I might have to take care of that. But I don't really care too much, honestly. So I have some areas that aren't completely done, but I'm just going to get right into the tour. I don't want to waste too much time here. So I'm just going to point out like the areas that obviously need improvement and will be improved in Season 2. And then I'll point out some of the areas that I really enjoy and probably won't change. So this is the zoo entrance. Obviously, there is nothing to it. I haven't really put anything in. I kind of started to work on it, but then got a little bit sidetracked. I kind of like to do everything like here and there instead of doing it all, doing like, you know, one thing and then being done with that and then moving on to the next thing. I start some stuff and then move on, and then it's a good way to keep myself interested instead of getting bored. But yeah, so this is the entrance. Up here, I'm actually going to have a huge sculpture of llamas because the theme of the zoo is llamas. And then another sculpture here, and then this is going to be a whole jungle entrance, so it's going to be filled with just all sorts of plants and trees and things like that. And then also probably some water. As you can see, like up top of here, I have this waterfall that started. It's supposed to drop down into here and then come and drop down into here. So that will be done at some point, like I said, probably in Season 2. But obviously right now it's not really done. I just kind of have a windmill in with some water that kind of flows underground and stuff, but it's not a huge deal. And obviously you can see the monorail here. I have put a whole monorail system in. I'll talk about that a little bit as we go, but getting into some more of the fun stuff instead of that boring entrance. This is the shop area, the initial shop area. There are a lot of guests in here, a ton of guests. I'm also going to be stopping or pausing and playing as we go. These are exhibits. I'm not really going to show off the exhibits, but these are exhibits. This is an exhibit, and this is an exhibit. And this whole front entrance area needs a whole rework. I kind of abandoned it a little bit. This used to be a habitat. This used to be a habitat. And then this is still kind of a habitat, but there's no animals in there, and obviously it's just super boring. If you actually were to watch episode like 2 of this series, I built this to save the zoo, basically. This was lions, and the lions kind of saved the zoo money-wise. And then as you can see up here, this is going to be a habitat. It's just not a habitat right now. But first I'm going to bring you up the stairs on the left here. And as you go up these stairs, on the right is a little jungle habitat. It has I almost said Chinese. It has Colombian capuchin monkeys, giant anteaters, and Baird's tapir in there. The walls are so high because of the monkeys jumping out from the trees. I was kind of having an issue with that at one point. I had originally built the walls high, I shrunk them down, and then I had to rebuild them high again because of the monkey problem, like I said. But here are some of the animals. That's a giant anteater here. The monkeys are there, obviously a ton of them on the ground. And that's just the overall little habitat there. Nothing super exciting. That was my second habitat built. This was my first one. I have done renovations to it as I went. I was not really this good of a builder to start, and obviously this still isn't super great, but it's pretty nice, at least for a llama habitat. Llamas require basically 0 coverage. You're not allowed to have any tree coverage essentially in here, so I do not, and it's mostly just kind of a mountainy hill, which is, you know, what llamas live on, so I try to make that as realistic as possible. And then moving on from there, coming out of that, if you go up here, this is just viewing area for down here, and then up here, and this is the staff area. But we'll turn right. Everything off to the right over here is obviously not completed, but it is going to be an Arctic area. I have not started on my Arctic zone at all, so as you go down this hill, it's going to be polar bears, you know, Arctic wolves, and reindeer, stuff like that. I'm going to have a whole wall that spans this, so that way you have to walk through kind of an archway, and then once you go through that archway, it's going to be like, you know, you walk right into like this big snowy paradise. That is the plan for that, again, for season 2, but obviously I've not done that yet. And then coming over to here, these are tortoises, I believe. Yeah, they're Galapagos giant tortoises. There are, you can see all the babies in there. There are 40 babies in there currently. This was one of the habitats that was originally kind of in the entrance area that I decided to move over here. The pride and joy of this really is, you know, all of the babies in there. It is insane how many babies are in there. And then the entrance actually comes from this tunnel here, and then runs down, so that way the staff can get in there and feed them and stuff, and it's hidden, which I learned how to do, and I was very proud of it at the time. And then as we come up to here, this is the jaguar habitat. I'll try to find some of them really quick. I knew where they were at. Oh, this is something that they do. So this is one of the babies. There are 4 babies in here currently, and 2 adults. They like to climb up on top of this, though. It's very funny, and they also climb in this tree a ton. I always find them in this tree and on top of the shelter. There are 2 of the babies, another baby there. They're pretty cool. I do like the jaguar habitat. Put in some water there, another climbing area here, and then the feeding area is down here, and that also the staff entrance. I also forgot to mention, for the llamas, I named them all after famous hip-hop artists, and then it kind of spiraled from there. I decided to start combining the names when they had a baby. So, you know, we started out with like Snoop Dogg, Rihanna. We have a TikTok of Rihanna actually dying. It was tragic, but it's also hilarious. And then obviously you see here I have Megan Thee Stallion, and then I also had Queen Latifah in there. Not really hip hop, but I had Queen Latifah in there. I also had Eminem. Sadly, he didn't have any kids. This is DaBaby, one of the OGs, one of the originals. But so like DaBaby had a kid, and he had a kid with Nicki Minaj, so I named DaBaby DaNicki. And then as you saw with this one, it was the Latifah, so it was Megan Thee Stallion and Queen Latifah had a baby. This is the Katifa, so this is a baby of a couple of generations that somehow ended up being Megan Thee Stallion, DaBaby, and Queen Latifah's all lineage. This is King Snoop. I'm guessing it was Queen Latifah and Snoop Dogg's child. This is Chicago, Kanye West, and Chance the Rapper. I didn't really gender specify their names too much. So Kanye West, you know, from Chicago, Chance the Rapper from Chicago, so I named it Chicago. So that's kind of funny. This is my OG habitat. They are named the OGs. This is the very first habitat I had in. That's why the llama sculpture is going to be over here, because this is like the Kickstarter habitat that I started everything out with. But moving on from that and from the jaguars, now we move from the jungle and move into the Indian area. So I'll bring you up this right path first. Coming up this right path, these are peafowl, so these are peacocks and peahens in here, and it's, as you can see, a walk-through habitat. where the guests can enter. I actually have a couple of guests in there right now. These are all the peafowl. I really enjoy this area. I said it a lot throughout the actual series itself, but I love the Indian area and the East Asian area, and probably will love the Malaysian area once I get to it, because these are my favorite trees. Cherry blossoms are by far my favorite trees. Bamboo, by far my favorite plant. So, and then I also really love this tree as well, the Japanese maple tree. So, easily my favorite area. So I really enjoyed building that habitat, even though it doesn't look like much. I did really enjoy building that. And then same, you know, coming over to this is the Bengal tiger habitat. And as you see, we have one here. And this is all, you know, the same stuff. A ton of bamboo, ton of cherry blossoms, just because I love all of that so much. Oh, look at this guy. What? I'm at a loss for words. Okay, we're back. You were not a tiger for a second there. You were like a stuffed animal or something. That did not look right. But anyway, two more. These are all babies, actually, I think. So those three are babies. There is also a white one in here. Here it is. Another baby. So those are the Bengal tigers, which I was pretty excited to get at the time. I built the Indian peafowl and the tigers at the same time. And then we come down these stairs here. Long, windy stairs. I kind of wish there were like elevators in the game, but there are not. And if we turn right, this is going to be a shop area, not completed yet. Will be completed in Season 2. It has a nice little river going through it, and then I'm going to add shops along the sides. I'm not even really sure why guests even come down here. There is nothing for them to see, but that is the dining area for, you know, the shop area. And I really enjoy how this is turning out. Obviously I have not completed it yet, but I will. And then you come down here, and these are Indian elephants, and the Indian elephants are very cool. I love the elephants in this game. They also leave massive poopies. But overall pretty cool. I again love that habitat because of the trees and the aesthetic of it, and then the elephants even make it better. This is the monorail. The monorail has several stops throughout the zoo, but for some reason it gets clogged up here every single time. So all of these cars just get stuck right here, and then it only sends like one at a time, which this is the actual end of the monorail. So monorail starts out and it goes that way, but as it ends, it comes down this and then curves back around and then goes back to the entrance. And for some reason, none of these cars make it through. I think it's because there are no guests to get on, and these guests don't want to get off here. So I tried to make it more appealing for them to get off here, but they still just won't get off here. So it just gets stuck there. For some reason, it won't just send it through more often. It just is chilling. And then as we come kind of this way, I'll give you guys a quick little overview of what we've went through. So this is the entrance. We went, if you follow my mouse cursor here, this is the entrance. We went down here, up these stairs, checked out this habitat, and then went all the way around, up these stairs, and then up, and then over to the tigers, and then down these stairs, and then now we are right here. Which I'm going to lead us into the Indian rhinoceros habitat. Here are two of them. I think there might be three in there, but either way, again, I love the aesthetic of it. It just is very, very pretty, especially with the mountains in the background. There are them guys. And then we'll go down this hill. So that's the end of... I finished an achievement, I guess. So that's the end of the Indian area, and then we'll go down these stairs, which leads us into the East Asian area. First off, okay, so first off, I'll turn right, which will lead us into the Chinese pangolin area. This is one of them. Pretty boring little things, kind of look like armadillos, but I had to add it because it is one of the habitats. And I did not want to skip any of them. So I put this in. It's a little walkthrough. It's a really nice looking habitat. It's just that I don't think the animals themselves are that interesting. But again, you know, I enjoy what I did with that. But and as you walk through, come out on the other side. If you turn right, this is kind of staff area. That's actually a water treatment station, which I covered up. I put this rock here so the guests couldn't see it and made it look nice and pretty over there. And then on the left side is Formosan black bears. They also have a cub that I really want to show you guys. Here they are. Oh, it's so cute. And also a big shit. So cute. That was kind of scary. He was sprinting at that worker. But that is the black bear habitat. It's actually a very, I'll zoom out a little bit. It's actually a very long, skinny habitat. It spans like this. I kind of just was messing around with some stuff. I also made this glass so that way the bears will look out and it's just like that much of a drop off. And in my mind, that is hilarious because I guess I think that video game bears are afraid of heights. This is a little bit of a snowy area because they do have some snow that they can have in their habitat, but it's not, I didn't consider it, I did not consider it the Arctic area yet. But anyway, this is the stairs. As we come down, there are some shops, and then on the right side, this is staff area, the left side, toilets. And then we get into some Arctic-y type area. This is a panda habitat. As you can see, there's a little panda there. They also can have a little bit of snow mixed in with, you know, some jungly stuff. Here are all the pandas. I think I only have 3, so they are all grouped up right here together. But this area can have a lot more pandas in it if I can make the habitat bigger. I'm not sure what was up with my stutter there. I don't have a stutter. But if I could find a way to make this habitat bigger, then I could fit some more pandas in there. But as of right now, 3 is the most I can have in this habitat. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. I might have to try to expand it this way or something. I don't really know. But I also might just leave it alone. 3 pandas is pretty nice. I just would love to have some cubs in there is the biggest thing. And then this is the final habitat for the East Asian area. We still have a lot of zoo left to go, but this is the final habitat for the East Asian area, which are the Japanese macaques, which I was pronouncing as Japanese macaque because I'm an idiot. And then I looked it up, and because I knew that macaque was not correct, but I was like, I have no idea what else it would be, so I'm just going to keep calling them macaque for a minute. And then I looked it up, and then I kind of was looking at the name and realized, oh my gosh, it's macaques. I'm such an idiot. But anyway, those are the macaques. There's really only one view area, and it's from right here, and you can't really see Jack from here. So that might have to be fixed. But still a habitat that I like. I think I'm going to put a view area here to kind of fix that viewing area issue. Ooh, some rewards. $3,000. Also, I'm going to complete this. This isn't just going to be a cliff. This is going to be stable ground that comes around and loops around. And as you can see, I already have a path kind of going. I'm going to loop this path around and have it actually meet up with the entrance, along with meeting up with, this is all going to be Malaysia. I can't really think off the top of my head the animals that will be in there, but there are a couple more bears. I think a sun bear, some other things. Some bears. Definitely bears. For sure bears. I don't know what else though. But definitely bears. Maybe a couple monkeys. Probably a couple monkeys. Yes, definitely a couple monkeys. But that, like I said, that'll be Malaysia, and that'll connect with this and make it look better. Obviously, I'm not going to leave this as just a cliff. But that will be coming in Season 2. And then I'm going to bring us back to the zoo entrance here and kind of bring us down this way. So like I said, this is all just nothing right now. And it will be something in Season 2, but it is nothing right now. This is an otter habitat. I'll give you guys a quick little peek before we go up those stairs that we were just by. So, oh, they must be eating or something. There's usually a lot of otters swimming around here. Oh, there's a couple. You can see them a little bit from the bottom. Not super great, but there are otters. And I'll show you them from another view. I just want to give you a quick peek from the bottom. So we go up these stairs. This is actually the second set of stairs. So from the entrance, those stairs are there. Those are the ones we went up earlier. Then we come around, stairs here. This path up here is actually for the habitats below, because there were habitats there before. But there are not now, so... yeah. I mean, once I put some more habitats in, that path will make more sense. But don't worry, the guests are still up there for whatever reason. Some kind of quick fixes that I need to do is basically just add a bunch of trees right here. Like, this is going to be nothing, but I need to add trees to make it look better. I just have not really gotten around to it. This is the first habitat I showed you. And then as we come into here, we go off to the right, and this is going into some aquatic slash swamp area stuff. This is not a habitat here. This is my pride and joy of the scenery I've created. This is actually just a staff area. It's very, very pretty. And then we come down to the right, and these are named Florida because, well, first off, they are crocodile animals, you know, that crocodile alligator family, which reminds me of Florida. So that is one reason, but main reason why they are named Florida is because they are all incest. Every single animal in here is born of incest. When I, which just sounds terrible, when I bought the original dwarf caiman that I put in here, I'll give you a little zoom in while I'm talking also of the dwarf caiman. But when I put the original dwarf caiman in here, I actually accidentally somehow bought brother and sister dwarf caiman. So when I put them in, they bred, and it said they were incest breeding, and I was like, what? Like, I just bought these, there's no way. And then I looked it up, and sure enough, they were incest. So I just stuck with it, and I let them all just be incest now. Basically, I just kind of see what genes are in there. They're all still born from the same two parents, so that there aren't any more parents in there. It's just the two incest parents, and these are however many kids you can see in here. We've got 16 babies, all born of incest, all starving to death, probably because they were born with, like, without mouths or something like that. But yeah, and then this is the top-down view of the otters. You can see the otters out there. Nothing super spectacular to see that we haven't seen from the otters, but here's one of the guys. They're very cute. Apparently there's water right there. I don't know how. But yeah. Anyway, we'll go back up into here. This is the swamp area. So this is the dwarf caimans like I just showed you. And then off to the left of those are, I might pronounce this wrong, Gariel, or yeah, one of those two. It's one of those two. They're just another alligator dinosaur. And I named them Louisiana simply just because they're right next to Florida, and they're also gators. They have a lot of babies in here currently, just like the other habitat. 20 babies in here. And the size difference between this is a full-grown female, this is a full-grown male. Look at the size difference. It's pretty nuts. This thing is freaking massive. It is 4.16 meters long. I'm from America. I have no idea what that translates to in feet. But if you know how many feet that is, then you're probably like, holy crap, that's a really big gator. Then coming down into this viewpoint, just real quick, these are pygmy hippos, which are basically just miniature hippos. Apparently there have been a lot of species of pygmy type animals, which are just like smaller versions of the actual animal itself, which I found interesting. But those are just smaller versions of hippos. But anyway, we'll go back up, we'll reset a little bit. So we're coming down this boardwalk, and off to the left instead of the right, which is where we just were, is the hippo habitat. And the hippo from this viewpoint. That's the hippos down there. It is a huge habitat. I'll just zoom out real quick. It spans from here all the way around this. This is just a little swamp for scenery. Nothing spectacular or anything. Then we go down here, which is where we get the cool viewpoint. Go down here. And now we're up close and personal with these hippos, which is very cool. And then this is just all scenery. And we come through here, and this is the other side. So I had actually originally not even had this side as part of the habitat, but they required so much area that I had to add this whole extra section, and that's why it is pretty bland and boring in there. There aren't much, there's not much for plants or rocks or anything on this side, simply because I had to save all that space for the animals itself. That's why this area is a little bit more filled out, and this area over here is not filled out really at all. I was really struggling with space issues, and I still am, so that's why, like, if I were to put a tree in here, that takes up a certain amount of space for the hippos, and I can't have that happen. So then we come out, and again, these are the pygmy hippos on this side, which is where we just were, and then this is another view area for the big hippo habitat. This area isn't super filled out. This is just going to be exhibits, shops, things like that, but another little monorail drop off there. And we come down, and again, this is going to be a bigger wall. This is going to be a big wall here. As you walk through the wall, it's going to be like, oh, I'm walking into Africa. And obviously this doesn't look like Africa right now. I think it's because of the grass. The grass is just too green in this game. So I'm gonna have to find out a way, maybe just mix some like soil in or something to try to make it look less green. Because right now when you walk into this, you're not really thinking Africa just because of all the green that you see. But anyway, we come down the stairs, turn left, got a little exhibit here, and then this is a nice little scenery area along with some shops and stuff on the sides. So just coming down here, turn left, that's a cave, which I intended to have a lot more shops in. But anyway, we turn back right, and this is more scenery with shops mixed in, some exhibits here. Pretty proud of that. That looks pretty good. These are Nyala deer. So this is our first African habitat. I have some fake lions up there hunting the Nyala, which is pretty fucked up, but I have it anyway. And then on this side, it's all more of the same, just scenery with some shops. And we come out into this viewpoint, which is down into the lion habitat. Wow, this zoo is really big. I was not expecting to have to do this tour for so long. What are we? Good 20, 25 minutes in right now. This is nuts. And I've been talking a lot. Coming into the lion habitat anyway. Here are the lions. That's all bedding area back there. That's why it's like dimly lit. Oh, sorry. And also this is Pride Rock from the Lion King, if you didn't notice already before I told you. It's pretty empty in here again. That's just because of coverage issues. That's all. I couldn't really fill it out anymore. Again, I think if it were less green, it would look more African. But here's a little camp. I tried to fill in some stuff, so I put in a little camp there. I put a crashed Jeep in there, along with a little floaty dock thing. And the lions in here, the male lions, it's named Joseph, and I'll explain. So the male lions were named after, here, I'll push play. The male lions were named, what, you just gonna sleep? The male lions were named after, God. Even though I'm not a religious person per se, the lion I had was an albino lion. It looked very godlike, so I named it God himself. And then its kid I had to name Jesus, and then its mom was named Mary, and then it kind of just spiraled into now we have the male lion is Joseph, and the game doesn't register anymore, but his dad was or I should say his grandpa or his great-grandfather was God himself. His dad was Jesus, I think. Something like that. It spiraled and I can't really remember now. But every line in there will be named after a biblical character from now on. Then we come down into this area. So we came down these stairs, came around, and then down into this area. And this is a habitat here, and this is a habitat over here. This is just staff area. This is the lion habitat. So these are aardvarks, and as you can see, like the guests can walk all the way around. And this, I put in, you know, another tipped over Jeep and some other scenery. The aardvarks are pretty cool looking. The babies are super duper cute. But as you can see, the staff path actually comes in from the back over here, and then same with over here. That cave that's up over here is connected to these two, so that way the staff paths are hidden. And then this staff path is obviously just right here. These are Nile monitors. They are just lizards. Super boring habitat because they can't have any coverage. Also, they require a lot of space for how many there are, so I can put a lot in there again, kind of like with the hippo issue, but that's more of like a filler habitat because I don't think that these lizards are that exciting. They're supposed to be 6 feet long, and they don't look like it to me. Bothers me. Anyway, I have an albino one right there. Okay, moving on. This is just scenery. This is a scenery pond. That's it. It flows into this pond, which does not have the trees and stuff in it yet, like it will in season 2. But then you come down, we go down into this is a cheetah habitat, and it bothers me because there's so much green grass in here, and I hate it. So anyway, we come down, and off to the right here are the cheetahs. Lots of open space for them. There are only 3 in there. Maybe there are more. There must be some babies. These must be babies. This one must be running. Yep. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the green just really throws off the vibes of African. We come down here, and these are hyenas in here, but I just want to explain. This is going to be North American. Like, that's the Arctic area I said it was going to be. This is going to be North American. So the North American is going to feed into the Arctic area. Again, there's going to be a massive wall right here. And you walk through the archway, and it's like, oh, I'm coming out of Africa, and I'm walking into North America. That is the plan for the future. But for now, there's no North American there. And this doesn't quite look like Africa yet because it's super duper green. But these are hyenas. Looks like they're sleeping right now, sadly, but that is the habitat. And we move on. These are African wild dogs. It looks very similar to the hyena habitat because I built them at the same time and they have the same requirements. So most of them are sleeping as well. Looks like we're kind of starting to hit evening here at the zoo. And as we kind of continue on that path, again, this is the cheetah habitat. We just kind of took a quick little detour there. This is a staff village. I am not this good at building. I downloaded this off the Steam Workshop. As you can see, my zoo does not have that many buildings in it, and that is because I'm bad at building. But this has all of the staff areas. So all the staff workplaces are in this little village. There are fountains, waterfall over here. It's very, very cool. So I definitely recommend kind of looking through that Steam Workshop for some things that'll help you out a lot and make your whole zoo building experience faster. We keep coming down. This is a corner of the zoo. That's a very corner right over there where my mouse cursor is. And then this is the elephant habitat, the African elephant habitat. I have some water jets coming out of those elephants' trunks over there. Some water jets here. And then, you know, there are real elephants scattered all over the place. These are named after history people, historical figures, mostly from the United States, but not really, just kind of from that time period. So Ben Franklin, we got George Washington, we got Honest Abe, Albert Einstein, Queen Victoria, again, not all from the United States. This one is not named yet. This is Thomas Edison, and we got Napoleon. Again, not all from the United States. Yes, that is the elephant habitat. And then we spin around, do a little 180, and this is the African safari area, which has, I'm going to read it because I cannot name all of them off the top of my head. We got African buffalo, aka water buffalo. We got black wildebeest, ostrich, warthog, plain zebra, giraffes, antelope, springbok, and gazelle. And as you can see here, I think, well, we got zebra, a warthog. One of the deer I named springbok, I think, are there. This looks like a baby water buffalo here. Another one there. This is a full-grown water buffalo. Whatever that is, what are these? Antelope. Okay, there we go. Big old water buffalo. The ostrich are also huge. Huge, huge. Also, my ostrich are so pretty. Look how pretty they are. So pretty. And then our giraffes are over here. Very, very pretty. But yeah, so this is one viewpoint. Also, download that off the Steam Workshop, by the way. It looks very cool, though. Check that out. Waterfalls. Very cool. They also sprint around this habitat like crazy. Like, crazy, crazy. Anyway. You can see out across this, which I enjoy. And that's kind of how I had to do it with making this such a big habitat. It did not have to be this big. It could have been like half the size probably, but I wanted it to be huge because it's more fun that way. That's what she said. And then this is another viewpoint, which is the cooler of the two viewpoints, honestly, because you get the full effect of the waterfalls from the front and you can see a lot more. So that is one corner of the zoo there. And then these are supposed to be okapi. Oh, there they are. They're back in here. Earlier, they were not in here. I think they were diseased or something. But here they are. That one doesn't have legs. Or something's happening with its legs. I don't think it's okay. Oh, we're back. Okay. Super, super small. Because that's the size it could be. So that's why it is that size. Look at that. Another? I feel like I shouldn't be completing these. I think the game's glitched because I haven't done anything to complete them, but I'll take the free money. Okay, so moving on. That's more of like another filler habitat. It looks decent. Doesn't look bad. And that kind of leads us into the African jungle area, starting off with the flamingos. And here they all are. They are very pretty. Very, very pretty. They mostly just stand there and do nothing. But this habitat is awesome. So this is the walkthrough area of it. And, you know, if we're just kind of walking through this as a person in real life, just imagine kind of walking through that. Look at that. So pretty. And we come into here and then come down. Got a sprinkler, which will get everybody all wet. I put this in here because I think it is freaking hilarious that the guests are going to have to walk down this path and they are going to walk under this, and I want to know if they get wet and if they get pissed off about it. So that's why that's there. This is our natural little bedding area. And then again, look at all the bamboo, so pretty. And then we come out into boringness. All super boring, sadly. And this is almost gonna kind of wrap up the zoo here. So this, I'll show you these two habitats. These are the only two real desert habitats in the game. It's all not sunny right now. Very dark. Sorry about that, but I'm going to just kind of wrap up the episode here. So these are super boring habitats, but I tried to make them as interesting as I could. So this is, you know, the path where the guests will walk down, and I tried to make it symmetrical as possible. So this is one habitat. These are Gemsbach. And these are camels, yes. They are not from the same region. Camels are from Saudi Arabia, and Gemsbach are from Africa. But they are both desert animals, so I decided to put them together. And then as you can see, the one on the left and the one on the right are pretty similar. If you don't look at the bottom half of it, where I had to put this path through, we kind of just look at it from here, it's all super symmetrical. But like I said, the bottom couldn't be as symmetrical. But anyway, the guests can actually walk all the way down here and then look off this edge, which is super cool. This game is really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. And I like the idea that the guests could go do that, even though obviously the AI guests do not give a crap. Oh, this happens a lot to me. The AI guests don't give a crap about, you know, being able to see stuff that has no relation to the game at all, but I enjoy the idea that they could. So anyway, this is from the other side. Again, as symmetrical as I could make it. That's the bedding areas, obviously, and then these are the camels. These are our gemsbucks. I have an albino in there. I don't think I wanted an albino. It happened again. Very annoying to build on the edge of the map in this game. But anyway, so that's the overall look of the zoo. I went through everything. I went over some stuff I had to fix in Season 2, and then obviously the stuff I had to add. So Season 2 will be the North American area, the Arctic area, the Malaysian area, which will be here, the Australian area, which will be right about in this range, and then the completion of the African jungle area, which will be in here, and then also probably a little bit in there, but also I have to add, once I get enough money, I'm only at 9,000 right now, so I think I need like 150,000 or something like that, or maybe more. But I'm going to add the zoo entrance right here because the original zoo entrance, the only zoo entrance, is all the way down there. So I'm going to add another zoo entrance on this side, which hopefully will make it so I get some more guests coming in this area. Because for how appealing these habitats are, I get almost no guests down here. I do have to add some more transportation as well. I'm going to add probably like a train. I'm thinking a train. I might try to do the boat and make it over actual water, which I think would be the coolest thing in the world. It probably won't be able to happen with how I have everything laid out, but I might attempt it. And then if it doesn't work, switch to the train, or maybe do both. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to add another transportation method that kind of does like a lap around the zoo. Whereas this monorail mostly just kind of did just this area of the zoo. Because I have no transportation to bring guests from that zoo entrance all the way down to this area. So definitely something I have to work on, but I have a lot of area to work with. If you can picture this all flattened out, all this area flattened out to that level, then that's a lot of area I have to work with. I have done over half of the habitats. It's just over half though, so I still have a lot of habitats to go, but that's what Season 2 is going to be for. And then I'll probably do like a little Season 3 like perfecting the zoo, because as you saw, some of the habitats, a couple of them could use some work. They're a little bit boring. I didn't have a lot of time on them at all times, when building, so I just need to take some more time on a couple of them and fix some stuff up, add a lot more scenery. So I'll probably do a Season 2 of me completing all the habitats, and then a Season 3 of me making it all look really pretty. And then that'll be, the end of this whole series that I didn't expect to go on this long, but it has. But like I said, Season 2, I have not even started it yet. I have not made any videos for it yet. I plan on getting into a lot more games. I plan on getting into Humankind is coming out soon at the time of recording this, so I plan on getting into that. I plan on getting into New World, Halo, Battlefield, and any other games that are coming out in the fall that I cannot think of right now. But this fall is jam-packed with games, so I want to do all of that, and then I'll probably do some Planet Zoo videos as filler stuff, and then I'll start releasing Season 2 probably like, I want to say spring or summer of next year, if there's enough people that really want to see it, or if I really have the inspiration to do it. But I'm pretty sure I will. Again, if you follow our Instagram, which is in our YouTube description, or on our YouTube channel page, so our Instagram or our Twitter, you'll see updates of when we're going to be posting different series and starting different things. So go ahead and give those a follow, and check out the rest of our videos. Check out the rest of this series if you haven't seen it. they're a lot more interesting than this episode. This is more of like a tour episode, not like having fun like I normally would do on my episodes. And yeah, like I said, go check out the rest of our episodes. Give this video a like. A subscription would be awesome. That's mostly what we're looking for. We need some subscriptions, some subscribers, some constant viewers on some of our stuff. And also, we are going to be streaming a ton. Starting in the month of August, we're hopefully going to be streaming 5 to 7 times a week, maybe more. So check out our streams. They are also very interesting. And on that note, I will see you on the next Planet Zoo, whenever that is.